Okay. Sorry, just boosting the ISO up. That's what we're looking at. All right. We are live. Great. Well, I did not tell it to go live, but that's fantastic. All right. Good to know that YouTube may or may not like me. That's okay. Hi, Dave. You know that already. Anyway, I'm gonna be building a computer. My computer. This is going to be a new streaming computer. The first PC I will have built in, I don't know, 15 years or so. Yeah, it's going to be wild. I did not do nearly the research that I would normally do into something like this, into like a purchase, I guess, of this level of expense or whatever. Yeah, I do have the parts here. So I think what I'm going to do before I actually start building all of this, I'd like to wait a little bit, but in addition to that, because I'm pretty sure, just want to double check YouTube stream, because it's like in one spot it says it's live and another it does not, so I just want to verify. It's been a while since I've actually used the YouTube Studio as well. It's oh man, it's like they changed it since coronavirus happened. Because I did a stream in like February or March, and the whole setup did not look like this, not at all. Yeah, okay, yeah, it looks like we're good. So I just wanted to double check that. I was gonna maybe also ask if somebody would just type anything in the chat to let me know if things are working, that you see me, you hear me okay. Let me know. I might have been talking a little quiet a moment ago. I don't know why. Anyway, sorry about that. We're gonna start over. Oh, great, awesome, looks good. Daniel, you are here, thanks. Cool, yes, I'm making my computer. I finally got it. Right, so I want to tell everybody, and you, Daniel, will probably maybe get a little bit of a laugh. You might know a little bit of this, but anyway, I got this power supply. It finally came in, and I'm super happy, and this is why I'm building now. It came in 1 day ago, yesterday? Yeah, the 5th. So it's the second power supply that I bought. The first power supply I bought, along with everything else, on October 9th. That's when I made my purchase of all the parts I would need for the computer, October 9th. By the 14th, everything except the power supply had come in. I had received them, and they were just sitting here off to the side. The 14th, they were pretty quick actually, but the power supply didn't come, and at that point, about I think the 15th was when I went on to Newegg and was like, where's this power supply? Let me do the tracking and see where it is. And it said it had not even left, and that it was coming from China, where all the rest of the stuff was coming from like either California or New Jersey or New York. So this was kind of interesting. You know, okay, sure, power supplies, I guess that makes sense that, you know, they're made in China. Why? Maybe there's a shortage, I don't know. And they happen to choose the wrong power supply. And so they like, you know, they're just sending it straight from the manufacturer. Who knows, right? Well, I'm gonna wait it out. I'll give it another week and I'll take a look at it. So a week passes, still has not left. It still says that it has arrived at the airport and it's waiting for the plane to take it to the US. Okay. Let me look at this because this is kind of weird. So I look at the order and I noticed that it's from a third-party seller. It's been so long since I've used Newegg, I didn't even know they had third-party sellers on there. And not only that, but this third-party seller had an 11% positive rate, like review rate. 11% were positive. Nobody liked this seller. And I go and I click on the reviews and they're all, this seller is terrible, like the parts came in broken, this power supply lasted 5 minutes and then it burned, like literally caught fire. And I'm like starting to get really worried, like, oh crap, what did I do? Okay, I planned at this time anyway that I was gonna do this live, build the computer. And so if the power supply is faulty and it catches fire when I turn it on, yeah, it's gonna suck that, you know, potentially the parts and stuff that I bought get burned up a bit, but that maybe make good content, right? So it's like, I'm just gonna go with it, I'll keep going. Well, you know, it'll come in and, you know, things will be fine, I think. Things will be okay. Oh, who is that? Oh, hi, Warline. Yeah, sorry. So I should actually zoom that in a little bit so I can see. Oh, that makes the chat so much bigger. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, thank you. I am just waiting on the time. I do have a couple lights on, actually, but when the sun sets too much, it's probably gonna get a little dark, so I'll try to be relatively quick on this. Anyway, yeah, so I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna let this potentially terrible power supply come in and, you know, we'll see what happens. But I waited and I waited until the end of the month. So ordered on the 9th, it didn't come in, and on the 30th, I was like, that's waiting way too long. Like that's just too long to wait for this power supply. I need to buy a new one. And so I ordered a new one, and I'm like, whichever one comes in, that's the one that I'm gonna build the computer with, at very least live, and, you know, go from there. So I, you know, I put in the order for this one, and the 4th, so the day before this one arrives, I get the little notification, the email notification, your shipment has been delivered. I'm like, that's interesting, nobody knocked. Not super interesting because UPS and FedEx never knock, but let's assume that, you know, I was expecting some sort of a knock. I go outside, there's nothing there. I go downstairs to check the mailbox, and I have a little package. There's a package from this seller. It turns out they sent me a keychain and not a power supply. Like literally an envelope with a keychain in it. Great. So I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous, but at least now I don't have to deal with a return, like restocking fee, and like have to deal with shipping potentially because, you know, I got delivered the wrong item. Like if it was just like, oh, both power supplies come in and I like try to return one for like a refund or something, you know, there's a 15% restocking fee. There's, you know, you have to pay for shipping to send it back to the seller and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it was a keychain. So great. I go on Newegg. I go into a little chat because I'm like, I'm not going to do the little normal refund thing. So I just go into the chat, and you know, the little thing pops up, and they're like, oh, what can we help you with? Well, my name is so and so, and I'm like, and I just type out like this, basically. This is what happened, and you know, I even explained that I bought a new power supply because I waited too long and all that stuff. And they're like, did you get a keychain? Like, I didn't say anything about it. I didn't even say that it was the wrong thing. They're just like, did you get a keychain in the mail? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, Okay, we're going to return everything. Don't worry about it. And they took care of it. They like, the chat process was 7 minutes. It took 7 minutes from me clicking chat to like problem resolved, which was crazy. But anyway, yeah, that was a weird little story that I was just kind of saying to pass it to the time. I hate restocking fees as well. I don't mind them though. Like, having worked in retail quite a lot, I understand that. I mean, it's not just retail, but like, you know, sometimes certain things like can't be sold as new once it's been opened, and so what does the seller do with it? I get it, but also, you know, I guess this was fortuitous for me that I got a keychain instead of a power supply. So, okay, I don't need the iPad anymore, so let me plug this in. I'm using my laptop as my streaming computer, I guess, like my streaming. Yes, and also monitoring everything. So if I'm looking down, it's because my MacBook is right here. You just can't see it. Yeah, I didn't open the package. I didn't open the package to see what it was. I held it up to the light. Like, you could feel that it felt like they had like a key ring, and then there was like this. It probably was kind of cool because it felt and looked kind of like, through the package, it looked kind of like a corded leather loop, you know? Almost like what you might find as like a wrist strap kind of thing, you know? But like a little smaller than this, like maybe like that, but corded leather, or like braided. That's what I mean, braided leather. But I didn't open it. Oh yeah, this is a fake plant. I honestly can't remember where we got it. It's been a while. It's been here a while. Yeah. Not a survival one. Just like it felt like leather, but it was just like braided leather. You know, I don't know how to describe it exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna start building this, but obviously we're here to hang out more than anything else. Building. I think you watching me building a computer, I don't know if that's going to be too interesting, although I haven't built one in a long time. Like I said, more than 15 years since I built a computer. We're going to see if my knowledge has degraded over time. Because I used to actually build them. I've made a few, and actually with a friend at the time, I had made once. We together modded a VCR and put like all the computer components into it, and you know, made it work through that. And I think we had the disk drive going where the VHS tapes went in. It was a lot of fun back then. Installing Linux on all of our computers, yada yada. Don't scratch the table. It was a cheap table. It's already kind of scratched and dented. I got this at Target, I think Target. Yeah. But also, this case has some padding on the bottom, so I think it'll be okay. I'll explain some of the stuff. So I went with this size. I was hoping to get, or I was thinking of getting, a mini ITX motherboard, and I ended up deciding on a micro ATX, which is slightly larger. So you can see, yay, we got this motherboard and box and parts and yada yada. Oh yeah, definitely not a fancy salvaged wood table. This is, what do you call that? It's like a thin veneer of wood on like plywood kind of thing. super cheap. Right, so I got this. Oh, it's stuck. I've got this one. This is, yeah, new Ryzen CPU coming out soon. I did not get the new one or even the current generation, but I did get a Ryzen. Yeah, so I went with a micro ATX board, and to give you the sense of scale, a mini ITX board. Where is it cut? They cut it here, right? So like this, I think, is the end. Right here to see it. Like this spot, I think, is as far down as it goes. And I don't think it has this, because they basically have only like one expansion slot here and only two RAM slots, which could be fine for most. I mean, I'm only working with two RAM slots, and I'm only putting a video card in the one slot. But I wanted the possibility of, like, in the future, if I get like a USB card, because I feel like I kind of really want to have USB-C connectors on here, and there are none on this board, and there are none on the case. So yeah, but anyway, so that's one thing. And then also upgrading the RAM in the future would be a lot cheaper and easier to just add 2 more sticks of 8 gigs instead of replacing the 2 sticks of 8 gigs that I already am going to have with some 16s. Like, that would be a lot more expensive. So, but had I gone with a smaller mini ITX motherboard, I would have gotten a smaller case, because for me, smaller case, the two of the major things I wanted was smaller and quieter. And we kind of got a little bit of somewhere in the middle of both. So that's okay. It's not super quiet, it's not super small, but it's decent at both of those things. Let me see. Yeah. So the new Ryzen CPUs, the 5000 series, this year, coming out this year. I think it's coming out this year, right? Or came out, I guess. I don't have that. I could put that on here. This motherboard will support it, which is one of the reasons why I went with this motherboard. But I went with this 2600, Ryzen 5 2600. So, like, that is now, I guess, technically, like, what is that, 2 or 3 generations old? But I found it for like $120, so it's great. It's a hell of a lot more powerful than my 2-year-old laptop. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Sorry for putting it up on your t-shirt, static electricity. Yeah, I've never had any issue with the static electricity. Like, not once. I also kind of have dealt with it before. Like, this kind of stuff. Like I said, I've built computers before. If it doesn't work, it's because I just haven't been paying attention. The stuff. USB-C is a must. I feel like it. I think everything I have besides this computer that has USB is USB-C. So that was one of the reasons why I was like, I need USB-C. This is glass. I'm going to put it over here, someplace safe-ish, soft, and not on the table while I work. Yeah, it looks like a full-size case. It does not support a full-size ITX motherboard. Basically, the board is, I don't know if you can see this, I of course moved. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see that, right? Okay. The board fills this space in here. So you have extra space here, which is partially to give you extra length for larger video cards, and also to give you that gap needed because there's, I don't know if you can see, it, but there's two fan vents, like front fans that are right there. So they want to give you a little extra leeway. This is, I think, one of the smallest micro ATX cases that I could find. Yeah, it should be interesting. Right, let me get my tools, because that would be helpful. I can't screw things together without. Oh, all right. This little guy. Oh. All right. It has been way too long. Of course, I don't know all this stuff. First, let me put the motherboard back in the sleeve. Yeah, we don't need that. This wrapper is just all crinkled up. There we go. Yay! Set you down there. All right, first, the power supply. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Instruction manuals. I honestly, I'm like looking at these things, I'm like, I can't remember. I can't remember much at all. All right. Well, this is going to be interesting. Okay, it looks like I'm going to put you here. Now, I should probably plug. I have plenty of room. Plenty of room to do that. Yeah. Yeah, that looks correct. That'll give me enough space to see what I'm doing. Yeah, it does have RGB LED, and you can actually, you can have it a solid color, slowly cycle through colors, pick. I don't know. It seems interesting. I guess I didn't get this particularly for that, but all right. I need this, right? This is my pack of muscle memory. Oh boy. Everyone will see me mess up live. It's fine. I don't think I need this piece. Let's say that I don't. Oh, but that. Let me think about what that one's for. No, I don't think I need that one either. Okay. I do have a twist tie that I want to get out of the way for the case here. Twist tie. Okay. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm on that. Okay. There's some cabling here. I need to kind of spread it out to see what the heck I'm working with. And what am I looking at? I should have like light on this side and not just on the side that the camera is. That would be super helpful. mean, this looks like that. I also just poked myself. Okay. It is getting dark, isn't it? It is not just me. Okay, wow. Is it just me, or does it also look kind of bluish? I wonder if my light is acting funny. Okay, well, for now. Oh, wrong way. My bad. Let's give me at least another stop. Yeah, the sun has definitely, it's no longer shining into my apartment. Winter is definitely coming. Okay. Yeah, I may have to like move the lighting closer, etc. At some point. All right, let me see if one of these screws is the right one for it. I don't think so, but because I have two separate sets of screws and I can't remember which one's which. Oh, look at that. That is the correct screw. All right, actually, what I'm going to do is stand it up because it's not as wide as this. There we go, perfect fit. So you can see it, and so I can kind of see it too. All right, so what I need is, oh, just the Phillips, duh. Do you look like the right size? You feel like the right size. I have numerous lights myself. I can. That feels like. Does that look right, or do you think it should be this one? No, definitely. Because man, these are smaller and more fine. I have a feeling that these are it. Oh yeah, so I have my own light, more lights than this. I only have one light on me right now, and I'm shooting it through an umbrella. I could remove the umbrella if I need to go brighter, which I might do. Let me see which one we do. Yeah, see this? Is it just me or? See, I can't remember. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I have more lights. I was just too lazy to install them. I do have another one just sitting in my case over there. If I need to, I'll definitely put it up. It will get darker than it is now. That is for certain. I'm going to be losing light really quick. Yeah, in Manhattan, facing south, so the moment the sun sets behind some buildings, I'm no light here. Yeah. Does it look too blue? I feel like it looks too blue. Let me add a tinge. I could just walk right over there, but I'll use the app. You. Oh, for some reason it's set to Yeah, okay. I mean, we're also blue hour, I guess you could say, so that's... The blue is okay. Well, okay. I mean, I think it's gonna get more blue because the majority of the light on me at the moment is that daylight, that rapidly falling daylight outside. Okay. The power supply is in place. All looks good. I could have, and probably should have, plugged in the cables. I used to, and remember, well, I didn't really work with modular power supplies back then so much. Look at that, I have a flashlight. I could have used this the entire time. Okay. It feels like these are the wrong way around. I need to twist them. Okay. Plug this in. Oh, duh. I'm in the wrong side. My bad. This is the kind of... Oh, yeah. It's... I put the light to 5,000 Kelvin, although I feel like this does run a bit, like a tad bluish. I mean, I don't have a color meter to like get a very accurate reading, but what I've heard from other people who have it and have, they say that it goes a tad blue and that you should add like 5% red or something. I don't know, I can't remember. It was something. I think I did have this actually correct the first time. I'm gonna be second guessing myself the entire build, aren't I? And I probably should just take this out to plug the cables in. But I got these cables in. The light, by the way, in case you're wondering, is a Hive B50C. So it's little light, like this, but this, 50 watts. Will you look extra pale now more than usual? I do. I could just adjust the white balance on the camera. Actually, let me do that real quick. I think that might. Because why not? You know, just go to adjust. Oh, look at that. That is because I had it set to the wrong one. Oh, did I just undo? I just undid what I did. Yeah, got that. That. Hey, look at that. At some point during my testing, setting everything up, I had accidentally set it to 3200 and was not paying attention. That happens. All right, we feed cable through here. Yeah, that was 3200 Kelvin. No wonder. I was on tungsten. Yeah, huge difference, right? Yeah, see, the entire time I'm just like, color looks way off. I think this also, when you get your white balance right, it seems to help with the look of how exposure feels. Man, the whole time I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm good, I'm good. I didn't even bother to check my white balance. That was a rookie mistake. All right. Yeah, Sony does have weird colors, don't they? This is not a Sony. Panasonic also has weird colors. Man, these, I don't think these connectors are long enough. Man, I hope they are. I hope all these connectors are long enough. Feels like that's, I'm feeding them through the wrong spot. This case has like a cool, interesting little slot to feed cables through. I wonder if I should do that with the power supply one. I don't think so. I think we're good like this. Yeah, we are definitely cooking. We are cooking a PC. Okay. This will come in handy. I'm gonna put it on the ground right there. It'll come in handy in just a moment. Whew, all right. Definitely need one of these connectors. Do you hear that? It's one of the joys of living in Manhattan. Constant car noises. It's not just that I live in Manhattan, it's I live right next to the highway, like right over a bridge. So cars definitely fly across the bridge and don't look where they're going. Yeah. Okay. PCIe, you go here. Okay. Oh, this the RGB one. Yeah, I get that occasionally too, like non-stop helicopters. It's like, what are you looking for? Okay. I honestly can't. I have an RGB cable and I have never put in an RGB cable. This is after my time. When I used to build computers, is before I remember seeing anybody with lights in their computer case anywhere. Yeah. Okay. I definitely need another one of you guys, though. Oh, speaking of helicopter, there's one. Luckily, the windows are closed, so you don't hear too much. It gets crazy. I can't even hear. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't even hear like my TV if I have the windows open. All right. Okay. We got one for the PCIe device, one for the CPU. I am just imagining that all these cables go in like right here in this slot. There's two different directions I can send them. This seems like the right way. I also really should have just assembled, like plugged everything in before I put the power supply in. All right, now I can't remember the other connectors. So come back to that when I'm done putting the motherboard in place and connecting these cables. So I have a lot of cables already. All right. These cables go here, and these, I'm just gonna, this is where that cable tie will come in handy. Oh yeah, drink. I'm actually finishing with my Invisalign. I've been wearing them for, I can't even remember how long. It feels like it's been years, but I'm now at that point where I think I have, like a week or two, I've got my appointment to see if I can spend the last 3 months, or the next 3 months, as my last 3 months of wearing them during the day. So, yeah, you definitely can't drink anything hot, which means no coffee during the day, unless it's with a meal, because I'll have my trays out. That sucks. There's a lot of things, a lot of problems. You know, every time you eat, you have to make sure you not only brush your teeth, but clean these things, which takes time, because if you don't do a very good job of that, then they get all grimy and stuff, and you don't want that in your mouth. Okay. Yeah, it's not a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I have the overnight retainers already. That's part of the treatment, is the overnight retainers. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it so much. No longer having to worry about this. You know, did I get everything taken care of it? I don't know. It's just, there's so much to it. Such a pain. It's not that they were painful, but that they are just a pain in the ass. They were painful, actually, the first few weeks. Not substantially painful or anything, but mildly painful, like a dull pain, because you've got this thing that's just like grabbing your teeth and pulling, you know, constantly. I think one of the worst parts about it was that because it's constantly pulling like that, and it's putting all the strain on your jaw muscles, so your jaws are like sore for like the first 6 months, just all the time sore. And anything that would exacerbate like inflammation, it goes so much quicker. You know, anything that you're like, oh, my back is a little sore, like it's even more sore now because you're dealing with these things. Yeah, Vivera. Yeah, Vivera is the retainers I got. I already got fitted for them and everything. They came in super quick, which was cool. I got hit a decent amount in my martial arts days as well. But it had been a long time since those days, I think. I'd gone soft. Oh, man, it's so weird to me now, like looking at this, because I'm like, this doesn't seem like the right size board. Everything is so small and cramped. Oh, yeah, I studied Aikido and Ninjutsu, and I practiced a lot with, I did a lot of sparring with a couple of friends that were karate and taekwondo. Yeah, and when I was really young, like elementary school age, I also did, I did a little bit of judo. So I'm used to being thrown around, like hitting the ground in a way that you don't get hurt so much. Okay. This all looks pretty good. Everything looks secure and in place. Yeah. But yeah, I was practicing martial arts that involved a lot of throwing, and I was always one of the smallest / lightest people. So, not always, I guess. I did just as much throwing as being thrown. All right. I have a processor I can put in. No, I shouldn't do the processor. Well, yes, I should do the processor. I should do the processor now. All right. Instruction book. Oh, look at that. And they give you a little sticker. I might put that on the case, I might not. All right, this is packaged just nicely. Step 1. Unlock. Take processor, line up the triangle with the triangle there. It must drop in. Is that the triangle? No, oh, there it is. Did I have it right first time? Feels like I don't quite have it. Oh, there it goes. I was starting to get a little worried. Yeah, no, I used to have the same thing. I used to get poorly girls. I was really small as well. Like I didn't start growing to be taller or bigger or anything until I was like, the early 20s. When you can lean the case up so we know, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll lean each major step. Well, putting the processor in is kind of a major step, but I want to put the, oh, maybe I can lean it so you can see. Let me close it first. I do not want the processor falling out. And they're not super secure until you put the, yeah, you can see the processor in there. Yeah. It's not super secure until you put the heatsink in anyway. I am still small. Yeah, but not as small as I used to be. I'm still 6 feet and 150 pounds. All right. Let's throw that there. Now, they already put thermal paste on here, so I don't. Thanks. Yeah, they already put thermal paste on here, so I don't need to replace it with anything. I know that it's like super common for people to like use thermal paste of their own. Good high quality thermal paste is always recommended over the stock stuff, but it's such a minor amount. Oh, these screws are in really tight. Sorry, let me switch tools. Oh, this one here. Use the Swiss tool that Daniel got me. Thank you, Daniel. This come in handy quite a lot. All right. That gave me exactly the right amount. It's like the leverage. I find things like this super useful, and it's often not talked about aspect of screwdrivers, but like most screwdrivers are just like this straight thing, but a multi-tool, I know a lot of people don't like multi-tools because the individual tools are typically not as good, especially if you don't get a good multi-tool. But because of the shape of this, it gives you a lot more torque than a regular screwdriver. So there's so many times where I've had to use this that like a dedicated screwdriver just wouldn't do it, wouldn't do the trick. Yeah, the Swiss ones are phenomenal. I use it all the time. All right. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking out the brackets, because there's like these little brackets in the motherboard that hold the heatsink in place, which is great because I remember like building a few computers that didn't have anything that you actually screw the power supply or the heatsink into. So this little bracket just kind of locks it down. And these brackets actually screw into a metal plate on the back of the motherboard, a single metal plate. So once it's down, it's solid. Oh yeah. I honestly can't remember where this little toolkit came from. Most of my tools are individual. Like I buy them thinking like, okay, I need a very specific thing for this. Okay. Yeah, I buy them thinking like I need a very specific thing and you know, a solution to a problem kind of thing. Oh, interesting. Got it. Okay, okay. That's kind of interesting. The plate that I was just talking about seems to have come off. Oh yeah, so I have a tool pouch, and what I do is I've made a tool belt. So I have a pouch with like all the screwdrivers and markers and like little spike tape and stuff like that. You know, a bunch of things in it. And then, and then I have the case. Yeah, see, it did fall out. What the heck? The plate. I have the case for the Swiss tool attached to the same belt, and it's a belt that is like a seatbelt buckle kind of thing. It used to be one of those things you would wear as like an actual regular belt. It was a fad for a while, but I found that it works great to utilize as a tool belt because you can just clip it really quickly, and if you need to get into a tight space and your satchel and all your tools and everything are getting in the way, you can just unclip it and drop it on the ground and go in. So it's been super helpful on set, quite a lot. Whew, all right, now there is probably a particular way that I'm supposed to put this on. And I think it's not that way, I think it is this way. I am just guessing. I shouldn't. The pertinent thing would be to actually get it right the first time, and if you're a little confused, to look it up. I am not doing that. So I may mess this up. Come off as in broke it. No, it just kind of fell off. Like, these brackets were holding the plate in place. I should have tested any of this before starting it, but you never know. I know some of these motherboards, that plate has an extra screw holding it into the motherboard itself. This looks correct, but also kind of feels like they're not lining up a whole lot. Oh, it definitely went on. Okay. Line up. That's what was causing the problem. The suction. I do have another issue, which is these screws are not turning. And it's, there it goes. Okay, got it started. Is this? You tell me about what's up with that bracket. Got a bail. Yeah, thanks for coming and stopping by. What's up with the bracket? Yeah, it's just like weird bracket. I don't know. It's definitely making me install things a little odd. Let me do the proper thing and put it down on a flat surface. So much better. Much of these problems are all, I have only myself to blame. There we go. Almost all of the screws are going in. This one's being a little stubborn. I'm honestly not entirely certain how far. Oh, that one's probably all the way in. That seems like a normal sound. would help if I get a little light. Oh yeah, I think I have that one screwed in all the way. Cool. The sound, by the way, was there's springs on the screws that are supposed to extend the screws forward. So when you seat the heatsink, the screws will like touch the female socket for the screws before the heatsink touches the processor. And my problem was that was not what they did. They did not do that. It seems like the screws were kind of, I'm not gonna say jammed, but they definitely were like not positioned properly, like none of them positioned properly on the screws. So yeah, they cause weird problems. Although I feel like I made the mistake of not putting these brackets back in place. Do I need them? I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Look at that. All right. The plate is on. These are threaded. That's it, right? It's on there. Everything looks good on the underside. You have definite contact the whole way around. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks good to me. All right, now my CPU fan. Connect in here. Okay. Whee! Don't do that. I do all the things that you should never do. That is just my way of working with my own stuff. All right. Wow. I am definitely not as fast as this as I used to be. And I just dropped a screw in one of the worst spots. I will get that out. Let's see. The best way to do that is probably to push it. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. Almost completely. It feels like the hard part is now over. Yeah. You're always going to drop a screw someplace. It's just like, where, when, how will I be able to fish it back out? All right. Clean these things up a tiny bit. Let's go ahead and do the RAM, because now I got the processor in. Whew, right? That's one part of it done. I have the RAM and the hard drive. Let's do the RAM first. I went with this RAM. It's like low profile, I guess. So It was just in case I build this and like run my tests and go, okay, the stock cooler is too loud. Oh, let me show you the progress so far. Forgot. Yeah, people do that. They also sometimes make other mistakes. I had a friend who he dislocated his elbow. Story that I heard, dislocated his elbow, and in surgery, because they found a loose piece of bone when they x-rayed it. The story is that they pulled it out and the doctor was like, I don't know where this goes, and just threw it in the trash. I have a feeling he may have done that as a joke. This is where we're at so far. So we've got everything in. It looks good. It's pretty solid. Oh, yeah, that stuff happens too. It's terrible. Okay, RAM, this is dual channel. So what I'm gonna do is put them in, not next to each other, but like spaced apart by one slot each. Luckily, this motherboard makes it easy and tells you which one is which. And the lighter one, so the one that is furthest from the CPU, is slot 1. And I just have to line it up, give it a push, and etc. Lock it in place, and do the same thing for this one. And on occasion, let's try it again. There we go. That feels much better. It snapped. The other one didn't make such a snapping sound, but that's okay. So you can see they are in spaced by 1. Just gives you the best performance out of it. Okay. RAM is the easy part. Number of times I have changed RAM. It's mind-blowing. This is my hard drive. Western Digital Blue. 2,400 megabytes per second. That seems like it'll be fast enough for now. Okay. One of these slots, there's two drive slots. One of them is my PCIe 4 and the other is the PCIe 3. I might actually need to resort to the user guide, because that doesn't seem like it's labeled unless I'm yeah, no, it doesn't. It's labeled, but not telling me exactly. 6 2 2 2. Oh, that's just that. Okay, it looks like this M 2.2 supports PCIe 3 and 2.1 supports PCIe 4. Okay, yeah, these are tiny now, right? It's crazy. 500 gig. It is not a massive one, but it is small. And then I have my internal backup drive, where I'm just gonna store backups, essentially just backups of stuff. This is also very low capacity, only 120 gigs, but I think for what this computer is doing, it'll be more than enough. I do have another one of these from a MacBook Air that had died that I can also install into here. So socket 2.1, which is this one closer to the processor, is the quote-unquote faster of the two. Yeah. Okay, the motherboard comes with the screws for that, and a back plate, and SATA cable. Okay. Too many screws left. Too many screws. All right, the sun is definitely completely set, so this is entirely this light. It's really dark in here besides. I only need one. I only need one screw. Oh, oh, oh. There's that dropping screws again. I think I ripped this bag. Yeah, I ripped the bag, giving me 2 holes in it, so I can't really use that bag anymore. All right. Yeah, I like this light. The Hive light is great. RGBW with I think I need, this is a riser, right? So RGBW with a an app that gives you the full control over it. Yeah, a magnetic trigger would be nice, or like a one of the pads to just set it down on. All right, let me see which spot. Number 3. This into there. Yay! All right. This, I am just guessing that I was supposed to do that. It feels like that's what I was supposed to do. I'm using like the little riser on it because I think that's, given that how much this thing sticks up, that was my assumption. Like, haven't looked at it. That was the first I looked at any of the instructions, so job well done. All right, now we have RAM. You can see my hard drive slotted in there. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. There's some of the motherboards have a slot on the back of the motherboard, which I think would be kind of cool if you had a case that gave you access to it. But I could see that would be pretty annoying otherwise. Although, how often are you going to change that out? I don't know. It feels like it feels like I'm almost done. I know the cabling is going to be And then I have to actually install software. I bought Windows for the first time in, I can't remember. So I have Windows 10. The last Windows I had was Windows Vista. Yeah, oh yeah. I hope it boots up as well. Random compatibility issues, all sorts of problems. Me fudging something somewhere in there, some like minor detail. Yeah, so many things can go wrong. I do have my monitor here already, so I'm gonna just plop it up, plug it in, test it. Okay. A few things. Video card. Whew. This is the ASRock Challenger D. I don't know. It's a Radeon RX 5600 XT. I went with loud. I went with a Radeon over NVIDIA because it was cooler running, which cooler running typically also means quieter, right? The fans don't have to kick up as high of an RPM, which means that, you know, they're not going to be going at their full loudness. So that's good. And also power consumption in general, I guess, is lower with Radeons compared to NVIDIA's. But also the price is another part of that. They're typically a little bit cheaper, even though they perform a little bit worse, but they're a little bit cheaper, which I think evens that out, or slightly more than evens it out. And then finally, at least right now, AMD graphics cards are compatible with Mac OS if I use like an external enclosure and do an eGPU. So I could, in theory, take this out of this computer and use it with my laptop. I don't know exactly when I would do that, but having the option is always nice, I guess. Yeah, video cards are just so unique, right? That's the port that matters right now. Anyway, what am I doing it? Well, I'm gonna be using it to plug into the monitor. Okay. I need to remove this back plate. It's one screw. What time is it, by the way? Oh, 5:20. Yeah, so the other reason why I'm building a computer now, I guess, I've spent the past 2 years, I think, making my tabletop RPG, Ruptured Moon. Of course, Daniel has left, but Daniel is one of the playtesters for that. And that has been kind of my main focus. I've taken less gigs to make sure that this game gets worked on and gets finished. And it is really, I like to focus on like one or two projects at a time and not spread myself so thin. Even if I have the time really to do multiples. It's just, you know, you never really perform as well as you could if you give yourself that focus. So, and you know, when things come up, it's good to have a little extra time leeway that you can, you know, recover from things and whatnot. Yeah, you need a lot of downtime, just time to like do nothing, watch TV, play video games, decompress, relax, think, get over things, etc., etc. Okay. Do you go down any further? You don't? Okay. And yeah, so I've been working on the game. Oh, I feel like I don't know where that screw just came from. Oh, what is that? Oh. I feel like I need to take out this one too. But anyway, so I've been working on this game. Yes, let things go. I've been working on this game. And it's been so long, right? It's been over 2 years. Because I know I started like initial concepts for it in like mid 2018. If that made, no. Okay, yeah, so it's been almost 2 years, I guess, around that time. It was like mid 2018 I started concepts for it. And it part of it was that I wanted to create a game that didn't run to some of the problems that I had and others had with games like Dungeons and Dragons. Certain issues that were present in that were just like, you know, when you think about it, it doesn't make any sense why it's like this. And you know, initially I was thinking I would make like this thing and it would be a campaign and a mod for Dungeons and Dragons, like 5th edition. So you would play, like you would essentially play with D&D rules, except here's the modified rules. Like early, like really early, it started like that. But then I shifted like, no, you know what? I should just make this my own game. And so I did. I like started all the mechanics over again. Kept a few things, obviously, like a few core concepts, but I totally redid every single mechanic in the game. And spent all this time. I've worked on the core, like the rule book itself. It's I think 68 pages. And the main or first campaign, which is around the same length and number of pages or so. It's a long one. To give you an example of how long, like, we just finished, this week, we just finished the campaign. We started it, I think it was early February is when we started playing the campaign. We haven't been playing full sessions the entire time. I think for half of the duration we were playing like 2-hour sessions, and we got together once a week. On occasion, I think we missed like 3 or 4 sessions throughout, but yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. The game is very, I think what makes it different is that, for those who care, what makes it different is that the same, for the most part, the same role, like in D&D, you'll roll a d20, a 20-sided die, to determine what, and you add your attack bonus to determine whether or not you hit. And then you roll another set of dice, dependent on the weapon and skills and whatnot that you're using. You know, are you going to roll a D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, 2D6, you know, 6D8, whatever it is, right? You roll that, and you get how much damage you are sending towards your enemy. But in this, you take that same roll, and you apply a different set of modifiers to determine how much damage you do. This makes the amount of damage you do vary less than something like D&D, but it eliminates the thing of, you rolled a 20, which is a critical hit, right? You got a critical hit on someone. You squarely hit them, like in the face or chest or whatever, right? You hit them exactly where you wanted to hit them with your weapon. And then you roll your damage dice and you roll like a 1. You're like, how is this so weak? You're like the super seasoned warrior and you scored like the hit of all hits, you know, 5% chance of scoring that good of a hit and one damage. So yeah, it solves that. I mean, that's not the only game mechanic. There's a lot more to it. It's a classless game, so there's no, I'm a wizard or I'm a knight or whatever. You just build your character how you want to build it, and with the skills and spells or whatever that you want to give them. Okay, it looks like it's in, right? There we go. Happy about that. I could have had a much smaller case, right? Look at all that space. But there are a lot of video cards that do extend out. That can, like, NVIDIA especially, they make a lot longer cards than AMD does. So that's not a problem I am going to have with this, but there it is. This thing takes up like more than 2 slots. I remember the like anger that you put a video card in and you're like, oh no, the next slot over, I can't put a card in there. And now it's like, well, not only the next slot over, but the one after that you definitely can't. And if you want good ventilation, you don't put anything beyond that. Seth, hey, I'm building. I'm building my rig. You're building one too, right? Or you're thinking about stuff? Yeah, you can't exactly. Seth, I may have messed this up. I've been installing it purely from memory. I did look at the user guide for the motherboard once, but that's it. You're still gathering your parts. Cool. I'll tell you what I have in here. It might help you, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you won't care because you might have a way better setup. You have a right. Yeah, you're getting the 5900. Are you? This is true, yeah. Are you going to switch your video card? Because I know you are already having buyer's remorse on that one. I think you should keep it and wait. That's my opinion. I don't know. They're all good. They're all so good. I think that what I've seen with the NVIDIA 30 series was mostly that like the messed up rollout was the lack of supply. That was my understanding of what everybody was saying. Oh yeah, so I have the 2600, right? The Ryzen 5 2600. I went old because it was only 120 bucks for that processor. I have a B550 motherboard because I can get the 5000 series processor and just slap it in. No, don't even have to do like, I think I'll have to do a BIOS update or something, but that's about it. I have 16 gigs of 3200 RAM, which, you know, I have 2 extra slots, so I can just add another 16 when I need to. The 5600 XT video card and a 500 gig. Yep, that's basically it. Reset. You're keeping it, cool. The Radiant hasn't been wild yet. Yeah, it won't be for a while, I think. Won't know. Yeah. Oh. Am I? No, okay. Just want to make sure for which would be 50. No. I went with an Asus Prime, so that's like the lower end one, but it has much everything that I would need. Yeah. It's got the PCIe 4. I've got 2 of the slots for the hard drives. I've got plenty of SSD connections and RGB LED connection as well, which, you know, my power supply has. The connections on the back, pretty standard. So yeah, still good. Yeah, you know, it's working out. Let me check the battery on my camera. I just realized, I'm like, oh no, I should be okay. I am plugged in to, I didn't expect that would take so long to build this. Yeah, the MSI carbons are cool. So I'm plugged into my phone charger and not to a power outlet. So just go in there. And then I've got these guys, but these last a long time, the Rode goes. All right, what was I doing? I have all of this. I need to start plugging things in. Oh, and the fan. I had to get a case fan. Like, you can't not have a fan in your case, right? That's my assumption. Oh, did it just go out of focus? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Damn it, Panasonic. All right. Push air this way. What orientation should I do? It's the cable that worries me. Where do I plug you in? Yeah, right? Time flies. I was like, oh yeah, this will only take me like an hour, hour and a half. Like, that's how long it used to take me. But although I wasn't doing it and talking at the same time and relearning how to do everything. What do I think messed up? There's a number of things that could mess up, but I think maybe in the processor side of things. I did have some issues when I attached the heatsink. The first issue was I had the motherboard attached into the case, and I took the little brackets that hold the heat. They're supposed to hold the heatsink down. I took those off, and when I did that, the back plate of the motherboard dropped. And so I had to take the motherboard out because I didn't realize it would do that. Some of them, the back plate, let me lift it up. You should be able to see that. I think you can see it. This back plate here. Some of the motherboards, this back plate is like screwed into the motherboard. And I was expecting that to be the case. That like when I unscrew the brackets, this back plate would stay attached, but I wasn't paying attention and it just fell. And I could have literally just lifted this up just like this and reattached the plate like this, but yeah. That wasn't where things went really wrong though. I had quite a bit of trouble getting the heatsink mounted because the heatsink, it's a stock cooler, and it has these springs on the screws, and the springs are supposed to like extend the screw out so the screws touch the screw holes before the heatsink touches the processor. But for some reason, every one of those springs was like weirdly twisted and locked up, and so the heatsink touched the processor before those did, and then I had trouble screwing them in because it wasn't perfectly aligned, which they would have been. So yeah, that was problematic. Yeah, this is an Noctua. Yeah, not lining up is not good. I'm hoping that the thermal paste, you know, didn't get messed up so much, but you know, I won't know until I power it on. It looks fine. I gave it like a once over. How does that figure out? Hold on, where is this? There's a board controller for this one, right? Is that it? Huh? Maybe? Oh, is that it? That looks like possibly it. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm gonna plug this in there. Yeah, I hope it's really hard to mess up builds these days. I remember times of messing them up in the past. How should I wrap this? It'll not be... That seems reasonable, right? I don't know if this is the right one. It looks like it's it. Looks like it goes right there. It says CHA fan, so that makes me think case fan. Chassis fan. One of those things. It makes me think I refuse to look this stuff up. I'm like the old photographer that refuses to learn the new camera system at this point. I'm just like, no. It has to be like this. It was like this 15 years ago. Does that even fit in there? Yeah. This feels like it's not the right. It came with these screws, right? It totally did. It came with these screws that don't fit into it. Wait, did it come with these screws? Did I pull these out of another spot? I have so many screws over here, I've lost count. Let's put those off to the side for now. And let me get the case. There's a bag that came with the case. Oh, there you go. You don't have any screws in there, never mind. Okay. I have way too many. First, these are machine, they look like machine screws. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's 4 of them. Oh. Yeah, they must go to this because, here's why. Because these are not threaded. So the fan, yeah, okay. I feel like it's been way too much. The fan's not threaded. These just like screw into the plastic. I think. Okay. Everything's lined up pretty good. Let's start going. And they're definitely going in there. Okay. This is, oh, this plant, wrecking it. What have you gotten for so far for your build, Seth? Have you like actually received any parts yet? And do you plan on doing a live build like I am doing? It's a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I feel like I'm making a fool of myself. That's okay though. I have no problem with that. Oh hi, yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. It has been. Yeah, I like watching these things too. I like watching a lot of live streams in general. The case fan is in, hey! Okay, cables, right? Is that not everything? I did everything except for actually plug power in. This one says CPU. I think I plugged it into the correct spot on the other side. But I don't. Okay. I've got CPU. I've got PCIe. I wonder which one I should use. Would I rather have it like this or like that? I'm going to plug in the video card one first. I think I'd rather it go like this. The Roof Terrace, which Roof Terrace live stream? Was it like, it was really recent? I probably missed it. I've been in that like preoccupied mode. Oh, I think like 2 weeks ago. Okay, yeah. It was 2 weeks ago. It was a Thursday, right? I think, because there was a day where I think that we were playtesting, and Daniel was like, I don't know if I can make it. I'm in the studio and doing an event. And I'm like, doing whatever it was I was doing. Something I can't remember. I don't like the look of this cable. Just sticking out all weird. See, now I'm just being nitpicky, but I guess you should be. It's mostly because of like ventilation. Go in. You go in, then you go in. Okay. That's it, that's good. Yeah, Thursdays have been pretty busy for me because those were playtesting days. And where like the players can literally just join the game like, 5 minutes before we start playing. I had to do a lot of a lot of prep work. All right, this is my big cable. Let's rewrap this a little bit. and plug that in here. This is, ooh, I don't like the feel of that. Okay, this is definitely the, no, is it? This way. There's like, the motherboard, okay, there's these little risers that the motherboard is sitting on, and you know how there's like 6 screw holes in the motherboard going this way, and only 2 of which actually have risers and are screwed in. So then the last holes in the motherboard are not attached to anything. So everything on the board from the RAM that way is just kind of hanging on there. So I'm trying to plug in this cable into a connector that is at the edge of the motherboard, and the motherboard's like pushing down and bouncing around, and it's just a little scary. Yeah, Velcro ties. Yeah, exactly. It did come with. Ooh. See, I don't feel a snap from the lock. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Oh. All right, now I have all of these cables. These are from the case itself. First is that's odd. So there's these like, I may have to take the video card out because all of these case cables plug in down here, which is a pain. Oh, coffee and food. Oh, nice, cool. Coffee and food. I could use coffee. Nice. Okay. Let me start with this. Yeah. Sorry, getting all these cables all tangled up. Okay. This one is clear to me. It goes here. Yay! Okay. And then I can kind of feed that cable back into its extra dimensional pocket. Yeah, I think I have to take the video card out just long enough to connect the cables. So I don't think I'm going to have to take it completely out. Oh, here we go. Okay. It's like built-in cable management. It's great. I don't think I'll have to take it or I'll have to take it out, but I think I can leave this connected and just kind of like set the card down while I, because there's no way I can actually reach those. I kind of could, but man, it is really tight. This is the second thing that I've had to take out after installing. If you count the motherboard itself. All right. Oh boy. I would show you where I'm at so far, but it doesn't quite look so pretty. What's that thing? Proper planning produces positive something. Products? I don't know. Something that is results, but with a P. College professors Saying that all the time. That is good. Okay. I like that these individual things are labeled, but I have no idea where they go. There is an RGB header. This is a bunch of 2 pins. Okay, so power and reset, I assume, are going to be connected, right? Oh, is that? Wow, I may need to pull out that install guide. Okay, this is the audio. Where is my audio header? It should be right here. It looks like it goes this way, right there. I don't fully know if it's in. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were certain things that I was right about. I mean, actually, all of my college professors were, well, with the exception of general education ones, all of my college professors were, like, working in the field, and they were adjunct professors, so just working at the college part-time. But yeah, definitely it's definitely something that textbook theory people say all the time. Yeah, okay, that feels like it's in. It's good. I'm just kind of eyeballing stuff and figuring it out on the fly. I still have this one, which I think I plug it in over there. So let me go ahead and do that. There's a few cables that I know. I know roughly where they go, because they're not necessarily the type of cables or connectors or anything that have changed over the years. Or very much, I guess. And that's another cable I can just feed back there and get it out of the way. Great, okay. Oh, don't fall. Putting this in a very precarious place. Don't do that. Don't copy me. What is this connector and where do you go? You do not have a slot anywhere on this computer. What are you? You are not even labeled. Okay. I will worry about that in a minute. Where's the USB connector? Is that the USB connector? Oh boy. Maybe I will just unplug this and set it down there. See, I know it's got to have some USB connectors. Okay, USBs are here. That's this flat cable. 2 flat cables. Huh. Oh, both go there. Okay, so my USBs, oh, duh. That's my USB. Okay, so then what are you? and started snooping. Oh, I have no pets, so I have no risk of that. Okay, this is this connector. That looks like an RGB header of some kind. A controller. So that would be why I don't have that on this board. Okay. Because I do have a spot for RGB control, but they're just like a couple little pins and not this. So I am not going to plug this one in. I'll pull it back through and tuck it away like it doesn't exist. All right. Now there is, I need a light, and I'm not going to put this down the other way, but there is a couple of other connectors. Where'd they go? Power, oh, there we go. Okay. You look like that. And this might be important. Now I'm like facing the other direction here. Okay, I'm just gonna pull this out because I need to be able to see it. I've already pulled other things out. Why not the power supply? Super fast to go in, so not risking anything. You think? More than anything, I'm just excited to actually use this computer. Wow, I have it like really packed in there. Can I get it out? No. Okay, well, looking at it from here is good enough. I can see what I'm doing now. All right, RGB. Right. Yep. Oh. I might need an adapter for sure. Yeah, when we get to the point, I'll definitely have that. I'll keep going if I can for the loudness. Turning it on, testing it. Now I want this to go down the spots that the rest of it is, but there we go. It got so dark, I need this. All right, I'm gonna run this cable around here, and then we plug it in. RGB header. There. So let me plug that in. It doesn't seem to lock. I'm also unaware of what direction I'm supposed to plug this in. It is not directional. Oh, but there's that. What is that? Doesn't feel like that's it. I'm like hiding behind the computer now. Can't see anything. Yeah, quality fans, good airflow, definitely make a difference. That is true. Okay. I just have to figure out which connector I'm looking at. It has been way too long. This. Yeah, see, it was my understanding that it was an addressable one, but right. Okay. Here we go. 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 No, we don't. What are you? You are in there the most precariously. I cannot imagine that this is the correct spot. This is where it says to plug it in, but there is literally no lock. Like, there's a locking mechanism on the connect, like on the cable, but not the slot. It just pops right out. I'm not going to plug that in right now. That cable's going to go off to the side for now. Okay. I'll keep it plugged into the power supply until I come to a conclusion about that. There's this stuff here. Oh, maybe this is the cable I should use. This also looks like an RGB cable. And if I plug this into it, yeah. There's like random moments of what is going on. Okay, so to me, this looks exactly like it should go here. That seats on pretty good. But wow, this cable is small. It's short. It is really small. That definitely won't reach. What are you for then? Okay. No RGB for Dave until he figures that out. All right, I feel like I'm missing something else. Oh. This is like an old connector we don't use anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that connector. Cool. let's just go with it. Let's go with this. Does that seems right? Right? We're gonna go with it seems correct. I'm gonna plug this guy back in. Oh man. Size does matter. Yeah, extension cable. I'm probably too lazy. Because here's also the other thing. I'm spending too much time on this like RGB cable, and I'm probably not going to see it for a long time. I mean, I would see it now, plugging it in, but I'm going to put this computer under a desk, like on the floor, which I know is not the best place for ventilation and such, but I don't have any space on my desk, and it'll also help a little bit with the noise. Yeah, I'm like, the last time I built a computer, like, this was the yeah, this was definitely the standard. I'm like, okay. Let's replug. Oh, right. It would help if I plug these guys in. So this is this stuff. That's what I was supposed to look at the where this is. Yeah, well, okay, so the back of the computer will be facing a wall. The side with the glass window will be facing another wall. Like, it'll be tucked in a not in a corner, but it'll be close enough to to two walls. Like, at most, I would get a little bit of RGB light on that side wall under the desk at night. Like, I don't know. I don't need it right now. I think eventually, because I do plan on other changes and upgrades, that eventually it'll be cool, and I'll probably like swap out the RAM for RGB RAM and all that fun stuff. It'll be fancy, I guess, but not unique. Okay, what I need is, I'm at that part now where I'm like, oh, it's that, I've got a bunch of little pins that are not labeled things that I am familiar with. Yeah. What are you? Oh, look at that. I didn't even read it in the book. I just decided to look down and I found it. This. Oh, you're not plugged in either. What are you? Oh, right, the audio. Okay. They went through all the trouble. So power switch is above the hard drive. Okay. No, power. We have power button is above reset, and hard drive is over there. So power button. Does that make sense? Okay. let's just stack them together. Like that. And then a hard drive LED is over here. Great. This is the part where if I get this part wrong, for sure, I'm gonna hit the switch and nothing happens. Because I have connected the wrong connectors. Okay, but I think that's the right way to go. Let's see. It's definitely, yeah, the frustration speaking. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I think there's a compatibility thing where it's just like, if we keep everything divided and separate and just straight pin connectors and everything, that it'll give you the maximum amount of compatibility, regarding what case and motherboard and power supply you use for things. But man, just give me like the equivalent of USB-C connectors. It just everything will be done. All right, audio. This audio cable, I imagine, goes there. And let me just double check. This says front audio header. Yep. Great. Line up the pins. I think I already did this and it slid out. There is like no snapping whatsoever in this. Unless it's the motherboard itself snapping. So if you hear a snap, okay, that feels okay. That feels okay. Video card, you get to go back to your home. Little buddy, don't worry. Oh, yeah. Oh, I feel like I've been doing this too long, and now I just can't seem to line anything up properly. It's definitely me. It is definitely me. There it goes. All right. All right. This goes in. It's not that hot in here, but I am sweating. Actually, it is a bit on the warm side. I would open the windows, but that is a whole other level of noise that I don't want. This lav is the Rode Smart Lav. I've had it for a while, and you can probably tell like the sounds it makes. Didn't used to. Also, the noise levels are a little bit off. Okay, I didn't quite get my audio levels properly situated in OBS. Who knows? Okay. I'm just like used to things sounding even better. I don't know. Okay. Like I just bought sound panels. One of them I cut to fit around my air conditioner in the room next to the desk. There's an air conditioner. And it definitely cuts back. Like I dropped the level of sound coming from outside by between 1 and 3 decibels, depending on what's going on outside, from the spot where my microphone will be. So that was pretty useful. My standards are probably pretty high because of working on set and stuff, and being exceedingly demanding on that front. That is true. Wow, it feels like everything is there, right? I feel mighty close. Feed that stuff up there. Oh, wait. Keep this. Plug you in here. And okay. Cable management another day. That's what we're looking at. I think that's pretty good. I'm not going to put the glass on this side until I power it up. It is bad luck to close up your case before you turn it on the first time. That is a sign you are too confident that things are going to work out well. All right, let me get my monitor over here. I'm definitely liking, I am liking this monitor. It's just about time, yeah. You can kind of see that, right? I need to be able to see as well, but let me check the screen. Oh, yeah, I just have to, that's pretty good. You're nervous. All right, here we go. You plug in here. Okay. Monitor needs its power cable. Yeah, I like this monitor though. It's kind of nice. It is a 1440 resolution, 144 hertz monitor, a 27-inch, and like the mount is kind of cool because it's like a Lazy Susan on the bottom, like underneath everything, so you can just kind of press anywhere to turn it, and it'll spin 365 and it spins vertical. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Oh, so I do have a tricky. Yeah, it's very sturdy. In fact, the vertical stand post is metal, and so I've been like, you lower the monitor all the way down, and then you can like lift it like a handle It's been super useful. Yeah, I'll do a countdown. I am not quite ready. I need to get mouse, keyboard, and my, well, I have a mouse here. I need to get, oh, and this mouse is really cool. Use it all the time. This Logitech M590, Bluetooth to 2 different devices. You hit a button to like switch between them. But also hidden in there is the little USB piece for RF. So you can use it like a regular. Now, I don't know if it'll work. First boot. Yeah, I could use it like a shield. I don't know if it'll work first boot. I might have connection issues with that. And I may have connection issues with my actual keyboard. So I have to use a temporary keyboard. So let me go grab that. Oh, I know what I'm in. The other thing that I'm missing. The backplate shield. The I/O shield. I'll do that later. Let's get keyboard. I'll be right back actually, because I have to go into the other room. So let me just mute myself. Let me see. Is there a... There we go. Road. Did I get it? Okay, you can hear me again, right? I did mute it, yeah. Yeah, that's a motherboard I/O shield. Okay. You are plugged into there. You are plugged into there. Let me plug the keyboard in. Okay. Power. And power switch. Back power switch. Oh, I had it apparently on. Okay. That creates an interesting light. Okay, I don't want to do a countdown because I think that that also will be problematic. I'm just going to hit the button. Yeah, see, that's not good. Let's hit the switch. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're definitely on there. There is no spin up whatsoever. Okay, to me, I do have a light on the motherboard. So there's power being transferred over to the motherboard. So it makes me think it is the switch. No blinking. No blinking. It's the, there's like a line on the motherboard, like a little amber line that is the audio. And that was on. So, it's sitting weird. Okay. So that's fun. All right, let me double check everything then. Unplug. 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 Yeah, they're connected and plugged in. I realize that cable could be backwards. Possibly. And then the pin, the should only fit one. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. And when it went in, I was like, yeah, that's probably right. So I think that the issue is I think the issue is just my power button connector. Like I said, is probably not the right spot. And again, to access that, I have to take the video card out. I should do like you had said, and just try turning it on without everything plugged into it. Nothing screwed down. It's been way too long. Okay. You go there. This is like really uneven. I don't know why. Okay. We're uneven. Don't know why. Don't know what's causing. Okay. Yeah, this connector right here. Power switch. Power switch, I imagine, is it? Although my CPU, yeah, it's got to be it, because So let me unplug those and try again. There is a weird diagram. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me looking at it sideways. Okay. It says HD, so hard disk drive, LED, oh. Okay. So power, this says power button, but I wonder if that's this way. I wonder if they go like this. And like, reset. Okay, so this looks like a, is the foot of the case wider? Yeah, I think the foot of the case is wider. Oh, no. That is because I didn't put this panel on right. I felt it. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, me. Let me just double check this. It has been way too long. Because there's a like 9-pin connector, and I have 3 2-pin connectors to go into it. Yeah, it says for sure. Okay, they only go one way, and then the system panel. Here we go. Yeah, I was doing it wrong. Okay. Huh. Piece. That's confusing too. Okay, so this says that I have to do okay. That it should go like this. I was close, but it was off. Potentially, it goes like this. Yeah. Oh, and these face each other. Right? Because the grounds are opposite spots. Yeah. Okay. So reset switch goes I'm blocking my own light. Lighting guy blocking his own light. I feel like I've been doing it for so long now that just can't get things in place anymore. That is definitely in, and I am fairly positive that is where it goes now. They were definitely in the wrong spot. Whether or not this is the right spot is another guess. This one says plus minus. What? Where are you? Sure. I have a feeling this goes in right here. Like that. Ah, I put it in the wrong spot. Like that. There we go. Okay. I think. What do we get? Yeah, I thought that would be the case as well, that the power button pins would be placed in that spot. It was not. That was kind of how I just had it, and it didn't work. Ooh. Technical knowledge. I hope I have the technical knowledge. I'm just kind of guessing. I can understand. Well, it's been a long time since I've had to like read flow charts as well, so. Yeah, it definitely varies by vendor. I've seen other, I think I've seen other situations differently. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it like this and hit the switches. Let me turn on the monitor. You are on HDMI. They should be on the same, right? Same connector. Sure. Okay, here we go. Back switch, power. That light came back on and did not stay on. Nope. Okay. Yeah, it feels like, oh. Okay, hold on. Hey, I'm a bit of an idiot. Okay, we got the colors. You said they would look cool. They look kind of cool. I like that it's cycling by default. I should plug in the monitor and the video card. It's on. It's on. Things are spinning. Nothing is on fire yet. So that's pretty quiet. I mean, it's not under like load, but yeah. Daniel, you came back and just in time for me to turn it on first time successfully. All right, let's see if I get this video card put in. If it'll still work. Okay, tap, tap, ground, touch, touch, touch. Unplug power. Replugging in some stuff. And Kill it with fire. I hope I don't kill it with fire. That would be bad for my computer and self-esteem. Oh, yeah, thanks, Daniel, for sharing. Oh, tell me, you might have heard my stomach rumble. It's getting to that time. A nice long live stream. The day was not expecting entirely. All right. You know what? I'm gonna do the thing and just go ahead and screw this in, but not the plate. Just gonna put the little placement screws. Oh, it's like a game show with only one contestant and continual trial and error, and it's like I never get voted off unless the batteries die on. The batteries seem okay on the camera. Almost time for breakfast. Oh, wait. Immunity, I have permanent immunity. Where are you at? Time for breakfast. I mean, I guess it's always time for breakfast, but yeah, it's me versus me for sure. It's like old me versus new me or whatever, I don't know. All right, plugging in. Dave versus technology. Modern technology. Does he understand it? I'm like 2001. Oh, all right. Okay. You are still on, right? Yes. Oh, yeah, it has been going a while. I was going to say, I mean, it's always good time for breakfast. Okay, here we go. Oh. One of those cables is not happy. Let's turn it on. You heard that too, right? Okay. The problems of having such a tight motherboard. All right. Let me see what I can do about that. That was just the those cables rubbing against the fan on the video card. We don't want that to happen. Okay. This is over as far as I can make it. Cable meet fan, eat cable. Yeah. It's definitely doing that. I mean, a very minor amount. Okay. I think I positioned it to not do that. Let's try that again. Everything's still plugged in and everything, so. The video card is in there so tight. I am glad that there's this opening on the bottom for ventilation because it wouldn't be getting any otherwise. I didn't see anything pop up on this, although it may have just like decided no. It's maybe pretty loud on the mic, but it is actually really quiet. I'm excited about that. Oh, I'm also kind of being dumb because I should turn it off. And I turn it on. It's escape, right? Yeah, I gotta try hitting a bunch of them. Yeah. Right? That is odd. All right, let me try this again. I don't know which one it is. I should probably look it up. I don't hear the post either, which is kind of weird. Okay, but it says press delete or F2. Let's do F2. Yeah, there is an onboard connector, but it says that it won't be used unless it's one of the video cards that is, or unless it's one of the CPUs with the GPU, the APU, right? Yeah, that keychain was definitely for turning it on. Okay. All right. Let me actually read this part. It says, but I am not hearing, I'm not hearing the beep. Kind of interesting. Tim, hey. I am trying to diagnose this. Let's see. No beep, no nothing. Well, it says, let's see where I may have gone wrong, shall we? It's kind of interesting. All that going. Yeah. Wish there was more of an indicator. Okay. That. Those things are lining up. CPU lining up. Everything making sense. Set 1, set 2. BIOS and RAID. It doesn't say. It like doesn't say why the self-test isn't even popping up. Yeah, it's a good option. Yeah, manually, this is also true. It may have come out of the input, and that says HDMI. Oops, wrong. Let me see. We are plugged into. Okay, I'll just cycle the inputs. We'll do that first. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Let me try the RAM. I always fully unplug everything. Okay. Still no beep. No RAM, no beep. Well then. Yeah, so then it's definitely not even entering post. Okay. Yeah. Very weird. Very weird. Okay, so let me go through the... yeah, but I mean, we're not like really even hitting where the hard drive happens yet. This is all kind of motherboard side of things. We've got, I hit the button, right? Goes to this connector on here, on the motherboard, which then sends signal to here, this cable. Could I not have, yeah. I wonder too if maybe my other 12-volt connector is not right. We will try it all. All right. That should be this. Okay. Detective hat for sure. All right. Where I think that it actually is this connector. I think. Yeah, I think there's a possibility I put those in the wrong spots. Okay. I don't think it's going to beep here either. Well, I'll leave that plugged in. Nope. Okay. Yep, so I think I'll try that. Like that. Turn it off. It's handy that that light is on. There's actually a light on it to give me a little extra notice. All right. Take this off again. That looks correct. It's like everything looks right, but yeah. Let's pull that plug. Okay. This is the part where it goes back to like the surgeon, you know, just like cutting off the wrong leg, and except I'm like cutting off the wrong leg to see what happens. Yeah, let's go with that. It's sending everything. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. So now the CPU is definitely disconnected from the system because you can't power it down via. Okay. So this, yeah, the case fan stopped. I had unplugged the CPU 12 volt to see if that might do what I think. But even that, nothing came up like obvious error. Just wasn't running power, and then turning off the computer couldn't be done from the case anymore. Cool. I'm wondering what it could be now. Switch. This part definitely seems to be incorrectly. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is actually as well. There's like nothing left to unplug. And there's no like, hey, before you start, that's like obvious, right? So literally got it down to, I could unplug this. Let me try unplugging that. I highly doubt that this is causing the problem. That's just a USB header. Like that's nothing. Yeah, I'll try it. Oh, yeah, this one. It's just weird that it's not even saying like it's not beeping. It's a bit weird. Okay, and it's probably something small and obvious, and I'm just like totally overlooking it. Yeah, that's not it either. All right. That's just a USB header, but oh, yeah, what would happen if I okay. I'm gonna kill the motherboard. Yeah, that's true. I don't see a speaker anywhere on this. So there is that. Yeah. Okay. Let me try plugging the video card back in. Now that I've like literally plugged and unplugged every single thing, so I've reseated everything. Sometimes that is the trick. It's just reseat everything. Okay, back into there. I have to put one screw in at least. Yeah, the motherboard is an Asus Prime B550 MA. So I don't see. Okay, I'm gonna have one in. And I'll plug the power in. Okay. Everything's plugged back in. Okay. I'm gonna just turn it back up this way for fun. Okay, we got power to the board. And nope. All right. Well, that's where we're at. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I can do. This is where it gets a little interesting. So I'm trying to think the CPU is in properly. It is all seated properly. Is there a connector I'm missing? Some sort of... And all I have is... speaker header. The 4-pin header is for the chassis mounted system warning speaker. Okay. Add a speaker. All right. Yep. That's... I'll use my headphones. I'll be right back. I do have bad news. Bad news is my camera battery is dying. Because I never did plug it in. All right. Oh man, it has been way too long. Where is... Which one is which? Yep, that's what I thought. I can remember. Okay. You saying Right. Yeah. Let me try that. Do we have a... Okay. So yeah, at a certain point we may lose video feed. Let's see. Okay. I'm not sure where this. Oh. Okay, let me just try this real quick to see if I hear anything. Okay. Hey, yep. Had to switch to the webcam for a moment. Okay. Yeah, I thought potentially, you know, I was giving it a shot that maybe this, the mouse connector, for some reason, potentially, I don't know, I'm running out of options here, but yeah, I might have done it. I'm gonna swap the battery on my camera, although I'm pretty sure that the battery that I have, the other battery is also pretty close to being dead. So hang on a second. The camera was using more power than it was able to draw. Because I have my camera plugged in at the moment to a USB, like a phone charger, rather than going into the AC power. Let's see how much I can get. that. Now I should be able to switch back to that. Oh. It's getting an echo. Okay. There we go. All right. Should be back up. All right. Yep, nope, I am not seeing a solution here. Let me see. Oh. This is what happens when you run into Okay, let's see. Which one is the, oh, should be right over in here. Okay, I'm gonna try doing that. Clear the, okay. In order to do that, I have to take the video card back out. All right. It's like video card goes in, video card comes out. Video card goes in. Okay. There you are. And this should, oh, plug in. Run. Still nothing. Okay. And they say Nothing. Okay. The other method. Okay, so the other method is the battery. Yeah. I figured I might try with these, but who knows? I don't know. I feel so lost with like new computers. I'm like, maybe maybe this is the correct thing now. I don't know. Okay, so the other method is to take the battery out and then short the connector. If I can even pry the battery out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, all right. We're gonna short you with this because you will definitely short it. Okay. Yeah, bridge. All right. Replace battery. Plug in, turn case on, come over here, just in case, who knows, no sound coming from here. Well, oh, interesting. Okay. Further construction required. Let me try one thing. Okay. Yeah, I know. I might need to put the video card back in. Okay. Let's see, this one says, tried that, did that. Check. Okay. Yeah. It is not a directional HDMI. I think what I'm going to try to do, yeah, I think what I'm going to try to do is try reducing once more down to 1 stick of RAM. And put the video card in again, since clearly I'm not going to hear anything. So this, I'm not going to hear anything, so yeah, video card going in. All right, I'm going to have to screw it in, because if I don't, then the fans will have those cables for lunch. I'm going to try this, because I have cleared the CMOS. Those cables are good. They are now in, for sure, the right spot. Otherwise it wouldn't be turning on and off. So I'm just going to lock those both down. I'm gonna re-plug into this. I wonder if I should be using a DisplayPort cable instead of the HDMI. Do you think maybe by default it doesn't, I don't see how that would make any sense, but okay, I have that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's just, maybe things are going, but the video card to, motherboard connection is I don't know why I did that. The video card to motherboard connection is default being DisplayPort. I don't know if I have a DisplayPort cable. Oh, it should have come, the card, that didn't come with anything, but I don't know why it would. But I swear I saw a DisplayPort cable somewhere recently. Okay, so I'm going to plug this in here. Everything is good there. I'm going to take this, plug it in here. Maybe it was the monitor. Yeah, I think it was the monitor. Might be sitting over there. I'll give it a shot. Let's see if this works. Let me re-wake this up, because I'm not sure if it's falling asleep or if, oh, it just unplugged my case audio fan, or my case audio cable. Great. Well, either way, if this was working, then it would pop up with something. But it's not. Oh. Okay. Let's try. I'm going to try DisplayPort cable. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. It may be one of those problems where I just have to like come back to it and after having some time to plan. I think monitor case. I think that stuff might be in it. Oh, not here. I'm not entirely sure where I may have put that cable. So I may have to come back to it anyway. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there could be a problem with the motherboard. That's the only other thing. I'm thinking the power supply is probably good. I mean, at very least, it is supplying power to the motherboard. There's light that comes on the board for the audio. It's a weird little feature that they decided to put on it. And the power connections anyway, the things that plug into the motherboard, like the fan, the case fan, the CPU cooler, and those things are they're spinning and operating. Power switch, which is connected to the motherboard, is operating, so it's connecting somehow to everything else, right? The video card's fans are spinning, but that's a direct connection here. So I'm on the assumption that the power supply is good. Let's see. It's true. Yeah, I have processor power plugged in. The 20+4 pin on the power supply side, maybe. But I know that unplugging, I mean, let me reseat those connectors on the power supply. I'll also try removing the motherboard from the case, running it that way. Yeah. And also, this is kind of weird that this did that. Oh, I don't need my case stuff going right yet. All right. They definitely feel like they're, yeah, they snapped in. All of these connections are snapped in. Reseat them. Ooh, they're on like a row. Makes it hard to grab around. Makes a clean line here. Huh. All right. I don't know if we actually did anything there. All right. That. Let me try to think. Maybe the display. I'm like fairly certain that I got a display cable, a display port. Not there. I don't know why it would be like this, but never know. Oops, loud. Yeah, one of the CPU pins might be bad. All right. Yeah, so let me just try. I don't have this. Definitely don't have this display port. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I can test if it's the standoffs without completely taking every component back out.